talking to you about my November homeschooling favorites. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about today is from Lego.com, and it is absolutely free. If you have a little boy or a little girl who is super into Legos, I definitely recommend that you log on to Lego.com and register them, because when you do, they have access to all the online games and activities that are online. But in addition, Lego.com sends you this magazine. And the magazine is really good quality and thick, if you can tell. Like, it's not a flimsy pamphlet-like magazine. And inside it, there's actually really good activities. So there's reading things, because they'll have cartoons and things for them to practice their reading. They have mazes, they have word searches, more cartoons. They have fill-in-the-blank word puzzles. They also have find-its. And they have pictures and contests for children to send in their own Lego creations or pictures of them with their Lego creations, and they feature them in the magazine. So this is a fun little activity that we're going to start doing, where we take pictures of things that G7 has built and we send them in. But it's a really cute thing. So it goes seasonally. So there's Happy Holidays activities and mix and match games. There's also coupons often for Legoland, which is a reason in and of itself to get it. This is kids go free with an adult admission, so that's a significant savings. And yeah, so if you guys are interested in Legos, I definitely recommend logging on, registering, and getting this free magazine. It's worthwhile. It's not just another piece of junk mail. Another thing that I have is little additional things Lego.com will send you, which are these little comic books that are separate from the magazine, but also super entertaining. And it gives you ways of building different constructions. So they'll tell you what pieces you need and how to build them. So they're little building guides. My next favorite is also free. And they are basically found in all of your women's magazines and some men's magazines, I imagine, too. But they are the perfume strips that are found inside magazines. If you have friends and relatives who have magazines that they throw out, I suggest that you collect them from them also. I always tear them out, I save them, and then what I do is I end up cutting them. So for example, this one has, I think, 3 separate fragrances on them, but I'll cut them into 2 matching halves for each fragrance, and then I ask the kids to match them. And I'll give them maybe like 5 or 10 different slips of paper. So 10 slips of paper would be 5 different fragrances, and they can match them. And it's a nice sensory activity that is 100% free, ever-changing, and super fun. And they all like using them at the end and just rubbing them on themselves and making them smell nice. So really fun activity. They feel like it's a nice little surprise. You can do it at any time. You can do it with one. Requires no materials whatsoever. When I say I cut them in half, I tear them in half. Really nice, easy activity that even the baby can participate in. Another one of my favorites for the month is this printable. And I'm gonna get it really up close to the camera so you can see it well, and I hope it focuses on it. Basically, it's a printable that I found on Pinterest, and I will link the link down below. It was made at a public school, and I can't remember where it was, but the teacher basically wrote out ways of constructive thinking. So there is the fixed mindset, and that's people who believe that a mistake is bad, that if they are told that they are bad, and that there is no growth from there. And then there is the growth mindset, which says that, you know, mistakes are a good thing. You learn from mistakes. It's always an opportunity to see how have I not succeeded in something? What made that happen, and how can I improve that? You know, how did I misbehave, and why was it a misbehavior, and how can I improve that while still being myself, while not beating myself up over it? And I think it's a really good way of thinking. I'm definitely not, it doesn't come easily to me, like a growth mindset. I definitely grew up in an era of a fixed mindset. You know, you are smart, so you do well. You are obedient, so you obey. I think with a growth mindset, it's really nice and freeing to teach our kids that you are not one thing. You are exactly who you are, and that is an ever-changing position. You can decide to do the right thing in one moment and decide to do the wrong thing in another. And neither one of those choices makes you the best person or the worst person. It just makes you a person who has decided something, either for good or for the good of all or not. And I think that teaching kids that there is always a way to progress, there's always a way to change, that nothing is set in stone, is a really healthy emotional environment for a child. So I'm trying to get away from starting sentences with you are or you did. I'm trying to return to the action itself. I see that you made this choice. Why did you make this choice? Do you think it got you what you wanted? Do you think there's a better way to get what you want? This is a mistake that, happened. Let's say it's a math mistake, but that's okay. Look, it gave us a great chance to figure out how to really do it. It taught us that you were missing this little factoid before you could move on. So wasn't it a good thing that we caught it now? There's always a way to reframe the issue for a growth mindset that's healthier. So just to give you an example, the top of the sheet says, what can I say to myself? Instead of, I'm not good at this, try thinking, what am I missing? Or instead of, I'm awesome at this, try thinking, I'm on the right track. Instead of, I give up, I'll use some of the strategies we've learned. Instead of, this is too hard, you can say, this might take some time and effort. Instead of, I just can't do this math, or I just can't do this English, I can always improve, so I'll just keep trying. Instead of, I made a mistake and I suck, mistakes help me do better. Instead of, she's so smart and I'm never going to be that smart, you can say, I'm going to figure out how she does it so that I can try to do it that way too. Instead of, plan A didn't work, good thing the alphabet has 25 more letters. It's a really healthy mindset, and I like putting it in the front of his binder so that every day when we start work, I let him pick one of them to read. He generally picks the last one, the one about 25 more letters, because he thinks it's funny. And I'm okay with that. My goal is to teach him that mistakes are okay, and in teaching him that, to remind myself as well that mistakes are okay. And even as a mom, as I progress through homeschooling and this parenting journey, mistakes are okay. So anything that reminds me of that, I'm a fan of. Our last favorite item is the Dragon Wood game. This is made by Gamewright, which is a very good game company. You can get this on Amazon, and I'll link it down below. Super fun. My brother was visiting. He's in his 20s, and he found this entertaining to play with the kids as well. So games that you can play with your kids that don't bore you to tears, they're a winner in my book. So definitely, if you want to get this, I recommend it. It's recommended for age 8 and up. G7 has no problem playing it. I think he would have gotten it even at age 6. I think pretty much before that, it would have been a little bit too complicated for him. So kindergarten, first grade and up for this game. Really, really fun. It involves the use of dice and adding, card identification, a little bit of role play gaming. Really family friendly, nothing too scary, nothing upsetting, but really fun. So check that out if you have a chance. And as always, I'll try to link everything down below. My last favorite for homeschooling for the month was based on an article I read in Huffington Post, I believe back in August, and I will link that down below. It was by a woman named Meg Conley, and she basically wrote an article on the 3 questions they ask their children every night. And they are, how were you brave today? How were you kind today? And how did you fail today? I think those are brilliant questions for a variety of reasons. How were you brave today gives them an opportunity to tell you what kind of challenges they overcame and remind them that they were brave that day. How were you kind today is a wonderful question for us all. I think if we all strove to be kind at least once a day, to be truly consciously kind, we could all improve the world easily. And how were you how did you fail today? Was the last question. And at first glance, you would think, oh, do you really want to remind kids of a failure, especially at night as a review or over the dinner table? And I think yes. I think it is really empowering to be able to discuss with the people who love you best how you failed and what you hope you can do better and how you think you can change that failure in the future. Never being able to talk about failure, never being able to talk about your mistakes condemns those mistakes and makes them into a bad thing. And I think it's very much in line with the growth mindset that if we create an environment where our children can tell us about how they failed in a safe environment, in a safe place, it allows them to develop that growth mindset. I made a mistake, I'm going to get better, it's going to be fine. One question that I add to the 3 questions is, what was the best thing that happened today? Because I think that allows for a chance to talk about things external to yourself. So the best thing that happened today might have been one of their siblings doing something hilarious and making them laugh. The best thing that happened might have been getting ice cream. The best thing that happened might have been, a hug. A lot of times my kids will say the best thing that happened is dinner because they're having it right now and it's good. And all of those answers are acceptable. And I just think it's a really nice way to create a framework of gratitude and a growth mindset for your kids again. So all of these things will be linked down in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed these favorites. If you like this video and want to see more of the same, please hit the thumbs up down below and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope you have a great day.